Okay, I'm going to show you something kind of fun, a fun way to create a flower bed design without needing to draw. So if you're not artistic, if you want to see what a flower bed's going to look like in real life, I'm going to show you how to do that today. So I'm starting off on Canva.com, and it is a free design website. You do need to create an account, but it doesn't cost you anything to do it, which is great. And once you've gotten in here, I'm going to show you how you can use it, basically using some measurements, create a flower bed design with actual pictures of the plants you're going to put in, and it will make it so easy to show what a flower bed will look like in different seasons. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you can do is you're going to choose the template, and I would either do a presentation if you want it landscaped, if you've got like a long flower bed, or poster. And honestly, it does not matter. It's totally up to you which one you want to use. I'm going to go ahead and do the presentation today, but to be honest with you, either one, it doesn't matter. It's just more so whether it's vertical or horizontal is all that's going to happen there. So when I click presentation, this is what it's going to show, and they have a bunch of these like little design things that you can use those another time, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a picture. So I'm going to go to uploads, and then I'm going to choose from my device, and the first thing you're going to do is upload the grid paper that has your flower bed shape on it. So at this point, you should have already measured your flower bed. You should know the length and the width of your flower bed. And then you can even sketch it out if you want to. This one does not have the sketch on it yet, but that doesn't matter. So you can either drag and drop it and it will show a little picture of it, or you can drag it and it should, there you go, fill up the whole screen like that. And how I do it is every square centimeter or every square is equal to 1 foot. So 2 feet by 2 feet would be a 2 foot by 2 foot plant all the way up. Okay. So we'll imagine that my flower bed is this rectangle here, but like I said, if you can scan in or take a picture of it and draw like the curvy lines that you want, that's your flower bed shape. But for the purposes of this, I'm going to just leave it a square for now. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start placing some plants, and I'm going to start by adding elements. And then from elements, I'm going to choose, let's see here. These are shapes. So these are just basic shapes. These are photos. Where did I find that? Here we go. Frames. That's what we're looking for down here. So my plants, I like to either use the circle frame or this like little loopy one, either one, because most plants kind of grow in a rounded shape. If you've got a tall plant, you could use, a more rectangular one, but we're going to start with the circles. So I'm going to just click on it, and if I just click on the frame here, it'll appear here. And what this is it's a rounded picture frame. And then I'm going to size it to the size of my plant. So let's say I'm going to put a plant that is about 4 by 4 feet right here. Now, if I want to do a series of them, I can just copy and paste, and I can have them, show them going back and forth. But if you're going to use the same plant, I wouldn't copy and paste the frame just yet. So let's see here. We'll do this a smaller one. We'll say that this is a 2 foot by 2 foot plant. So we can just maybe start with the general sizes. So we'll put that down here. And then I'll do a 3 by 3. I'm going to paste again and change the size to 3 by 3. And I'm basically just trying to size it up to this grid here to show what it is. Okay, so now I've got my 3 plants. I've got my 4 by 4, 3 by 3, 2 by 2. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to uploads again, and this is where, now I've already uploaded a bunch of pictures already here, so I'm going to use these, but this is where you would upload, I would screenshot pictures of the plants that I want to use. So for example, you could go to proven winners. If you know what plant you want here, you can search for a specific plant like a hibiscus. And then when you get to the one that you want, I try to choose one that has like an overall, I don't want one with a lot of background. Like I think that this is a great picture. So that way, like if you're looking at, you just want to imagine that you're looking at your flower bed from above, a bird's eye view, what would you see? And I think this is a pretty good example. So then I'd make it large and I would screenshot, the section right here, about a square of it. And then I would save it. I'll go ahead and just do it so I could show you. Oops. Let's do it again. And do a screenshot here. So this is probably what I would pick, is just this area right here that shows like a good overview of the plant. Okay. Now I'm going to come back here and I'm going to upload my media from my device. And you can go ahead and screenshot, like I would save all my pictures up front if you want to. And then you can upload them all at once, or you could do them one at a time. It's totally up to you. All right. So now that I've got my picture here, all I do is I take my picture, and just like I did with the graph, I can drag and drop and it will pop right into that picture frame. Okay, I'm going to do some of my little daylilies here. Oops. For the little ones, and then I'll go ahead and do, I really like this penstemon. I'm going to do that right there for that one. So you can see the different pictures. Now that I've got them, now I'm going to copy this and paste this, and it already has the picture saved into the picture frame, and then I can just drag and place it wherever I want it to go, which makes it super easy. So we'll just do some groupings of this, copy and paste, and paste again, put them where I want it here, and then this little guy, copy and paste. Let's do a row across the front. Anyways, this is super easy. So you can see I'm very quickly getting a bird's eye view of what my flower bed will look like. Now, let's say, for example, I know that these flowers bloom in the fall, but they don't bloom in the spring. So what I can do is I can actually take this page and I can add another page to it. Oops. And actually what I can do, I'm going to delete this real quick. If you go down here, you can click these three little dots, and you can say duplicate, and you've just duplicated the page. So now I can go on to my second page and say, okay, like in the springtime, maybe in the springtime, these plants aren't here. So I can delete them. So that knowing like, okay, they're not going to appear like that in the springtime. Sometimes if I know they're just going to have some foliage, like some leaves, I'll go back over here and just do a screenshot of like what the foliage looks like. If I can get a good, notice there's just the flower there. You can kind of search through here and try to find one with more just the leaves in it, and take a picture of just the leaves so that you can get an idea of like, okay, here's what the leaves look like in the spring, but it's not going to have flowers on it. And I would leave those pictures there. Like these guys, if they had the dark purple, that's what I actually did right here. Is, let's say these bloom in the summertime, but I want to show what it's going to look like in the spring. If you hit delete once, it'll take you back just to the frame, and then you can drag a new image over into the frame. So say, okay, in the springtime, we're not going to have flowers on these plants yet, but they will have their leaves. So now you can go from spring to summer and seeing how your flower bed will change over time. Now, when you are done with this, what can you do? If you go to the download button here, you have some options. You can choose to have it be a PDF, or you can choose to turn it into an image, which I would do the PNG image or the JPEG. But if you save it to the PNG, and you can choose how many pages you want to save, all of them or none. But when you do that, basically what this is going to do, I'll go ahead and say done and download. Give it just a minute. And you can title it up here too. I didn't title this, but you can if you want to. So now I'm going to get out of here, go to my downloads. Now I will have a folder, and it has these images in it. And you can print them off. You can drop them into a Word document and make a list of what plants you're using. But you can print it out and put it in a notebook as a reference. But it's just a really simple, easy way to plan out your flower bed, move things around in it, see what it will look like season to season without having to do a whole lot of drawing and erasing and sketching. And this is a big game changer for me and super fun. So I hope that you find this helpful and that you have some fun using Canva to design your own flower beds.